Welcome to Malizia's Road to the Vendée Globe, a thrilling series that takes you behind the scenes of one of the most challenging solo sailing races in the world. Team Malizia is proud to open the doors to their intense preparation process for Boris Herrmann's solo challenge as we gear up for the legendary Vendée Globe. In this first episode, you get an exclusive look at the launch, marking the end of the summer refit. Their technical team checked every little detail to ensure everything on the boat is ready and in top condition, and even made a few improvements to get Boris racing yacht, Vendée ready.
Et action!
Good morning everyone. The weather is perfect to launch a boat. Just to remember that we are in Brittany. But it should be great. Stu, you drive the day as usual.
Bring everybody down to load this jig. Let's get ready for the first move.
I'm assisting my colleague because he's got two left hand with only thumbs, so it's not so easy for him.
So for the Vendée, we reinforced a bit the structure to be sure that Boris will not do some glue and resin in the Southern Ocean. So we changed a bit the settings of the foils to be sure that Boris will fly easily in every conditions.
So the team's just launched the boat since the summer refit. It's the last time we get to do a full check over the boat before the start of the Vendée Globe in just over a couple of months. We're really happy with the performance of the boat after the two transats, so really it was really good to validate the boat during the transats, and now it's just been a case of checking everything and making sure we're really 100% reliable for the Vendée Globe.
Most of the running rigging has been changed. Part of the standing rigging has been changed at the beginning of the year, so we've changed the J2, the one that holds the mast forward. And so now we're going to tune the mast and get ready for the Vendée Globe.
For the Vendée Globe, you're allowed 8 sails, including the mainsail and the J4, which is like a storm jib. As part of our summer refit and after the 2 transatlantics in the spring, we defined exactly which sails we're going to use for the Vendée. Most of them are new, including the mainsail, which is the very big one there. So it's a big job to make a new main, get it fit to the boat and everything like that. So almost all the sails are here. And now as soon as we finish tuning the mast, they're all going to go on board. We're going to start to set them up. J2 goes on the cable, the main goes on the boom and gets plugged in. And then we start testing everything in the next weeks to be ready for the Vendée.
Once Boris is alone, he's really by himself, so he's got to fix anything that happens. So, any minutes, any hours that he spends doing these things during the Vendée Globe is time taken away from his focus on the actual race. So, the more that we can do now, the more we can focus on that. And exactly what the guys have been doing the last few weeks is hopefully will mean a performance increase for Boris during the Vendée Globe.
The Coco Show.
Good morning, world. So the boat is back in the water and pretty good. Yesterday was a big day, but all of the team is really happy because we could fit the foil and the mast and the keel and bring the boat back in the water. And so now we have a few little things to finish on board, and then we're ready to go sailing. And next week is gonna be the training in Port.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, August 30th, 2024. With a nicely put together victory in the first race and an equally accomplished second position on the first day of the Puerto Portals 52 Super Series Sailing Week, Muller Spreer's 2023 overall champions on Platoon Aviation, today looked much more like the team which has won 3 TP52 World titles. The German flag team, led by Italian tactician Vasco Viscotto, have been struggling to get the best so far from their new TP52 this season and suffered a setback in Newport when they lost their rudder at the first of the two events there. But today, back in the modest 8 to 10 knot sea breezes of the familiar Bay of Palma, they looked for all the world like the title-winning Platoon of old, as they pieced two really solid results together to lead Tony Langley's recently crowned Rolex TP52 World Champions, Gladiator, by a single point.
For the penultimate regatta of the season, we're here in Puerto Portals on the Sunshine Island of Mallorca once again, a venue, the ultimate lifestyle destination that really does feel like a home from home. We have 13 teams racing from 9 different nations. That means 2 new teams, Teasing Machine from France and Criolla from Brazil, and we have a brand new boat in the new Provezza.
We know where we are we are starting in a very high level series.
This fleet is very tight, boat to boat, bow to bow.
So far seems like we're going okay, and we're trying to make it reliable, understanding what strings to pull and when.
So great sea breeze conditions for race 1. The wind angle is 185, the beat is 1.7 nautical miles. Off the start line is Quantum Racing powered by American Magic, who get the best start, get out with an early lead. But out on the right, well, actually Criolla team are going well, the Brazilian debutants. So too Gladiator get out to the right, but it's Platoon Aviation round the first mark in the lead. Criolla second, Gladiator third, and Quantum Racing powered by American Magic very much in the mix as they go round the top mark. Through the finish line, it's a race win for Platoon Aviation. The Brazilian debutants Criolla team gets second, and third Gladiator. Conditions much the same for the second race of the day, about 8-9 knots on the start line. Great start from Gladiator off the pin end of the line, really good time and distance, and then they get out across the fleet. Lead round the top mark with Platoon Aviation in second, Interlodge in third, and that is the order all the way through. Gladiator get ahead, let Platoon off the hook slightly, Platoon get back to them. But at the finish line of race 2, it's a win for Gladiator, second Platoon Aviation, best boat of the day with a 1 and a 2, Interlodge through in third.
Yeah, it looks like we are learning where the back and the front of the boat is, but still you have to see that the boat concept of the boating boat is so different to the Frolic boat, but right now we are getting closer and get used to it a little bit.
We are sailing better. The boat obviously is a new machine that you need to understand. The volume of this boat are different than the others, so we need to know how to trim the boat in the water, and I think that now we are getting closer.
Very happy with the first day. We have a very good first race. We got second place, so we can't complain.
So after 2 races, Platoon Aviation lead on 3 points, second are Gladiator on 4, and third are Quantum Racing powered by American Magic on 10 points. So 2 good races in sea breezes here in Puerto Portals. Join us again tomorrow.
After no wind on the final day in Pintan Island, the final standings were determined based on earlier results from the week. Both Gallo and Suarez put down a winning marker in the opening marathon race last Wednesday, and both performed to a very high level in the short course racing of the opening series. With no racing able to take place on the final day, the medalists celebrated their success with a hair-raising ride on a giant inflatable Pikachu. Is there any better way to celebrate sporting success than on an oversized Pokemon character?
So WingFoils Racing World Cup China is done. Thank you very much, Ping Tan. We've had a fantastic time. We have to acknowledge, Jimmy, that we would have liked more wind on all of the days, but when we first got here, it was really, really good wind. And the other thing is 113 riders, so a really good turnout for this one.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. When we had that marathon on the first day, I have never seen anything quite like it. So many wingfoilers, so many different bits of gear, different colours all over the waters here. Brilliant races.
I feel like the gaps are tightening up, and what Matthias or Ania are executing at the moment will probably be sort of standard practice for anyone in the top 10 or 20 in a year's time. That's the way this is going. It's developing quickly.
Absolutely, you're so right about those gaps. I think we've never seen it like this before, with Nia Suarez and Maliia Costi right behind her, and usually there's a bit more of a gap to the rest of the fleet, but it just shows that the fleet are really, really catching up. So who knows what's going to happen for the rest of this season.
Madalena Spanu, the reigning world champion in the women. She's not quite operating at the same level as Nia Suarez, but she still ended up runner-up. I guess the frustration for the riders would be that we didn't end up getting that gold fleet racing where they go head-to-head. So that's where they really like to test themselves in that next stage of the competition. But even so, as you said earlier, the best seem to be able to perform in any circumstance, don't they?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's a shame we couldn't see that kind of head-to-head battle in the finals, but they both really did dominate their individual fleets.
So we weren't able to get a proper medal series, but all that pent-up adrenaline for our leading riders, we had to let them get it out somehow. So what did we do, Jimmy?
Well, of course, we took him for a ride on the Pikachu.
And it was, some might say, actually more dangerous than flying at 33 knots on a wingfoiler. We'll let you decide when you have a go on a Pikachu sometime. So as for the overall, well, in the top 3 men, Francesco Capuzzo from Italy, really pleased to get back on the podium. It's been a while for him. And then Kamil Manowiecki, second, best ever finish for the Polish rider, with his eyes really on being able to overtake his teammate with the Ozone team, and that is Mathis Guillot from France, our reigning world champion.
And in the women, in third place from Poland was Karolina Kliszczynska, and in second place we had reigning world champion from Italy, it was Madalena Spanu. But overall, taking the title for the World Cup China in the women was Spain's Nia Suarez.
So that's it from us in China, from Jimmy Craythorne and from myself, Andy Rice. Hope you've enjoyed all the action. That's it from China. The next one we move on to is in Sardinia for the next one, WingFoils Racing World Cup Sardinia, in a few weeks' time.
Learn the secrets to winning at ILCA Nationals in this video from Olympic ILCA sailing coach John Emmett. Get the insider tips on how to dominate at the sailing championships from both men's and women's champions, and come out on top. So if you are a skiff sailor or a coach, this is the professionals help video for you.
I'm Toby Waggett. Derwent Reservoir Sailing Club is my home sailing club. I've been in the boat for about 1.5 years now.
Hi there, I'm Finley Dickinson. I'm a member on the British Sailing Squad and I sail the ILCA 7.
ILCA 6 national champion. It's quite a long time coming. You must be really pleased. Get that one in belt. A lot of names on those trophies.
Yeah, really buzzing to be national champion. Done a few of these now, so yeah, really cool to win it.
And you've had some close runs in the past. But the thing today, when we look at the results, is not actually always clear. But you were really dominant. Boat speed makes you a tactical genius. How were you so fast?
I think it was mainly my downwinds. They were pretty good. I've been training a lot on downwinds, making sure I get a good start and then easy options straight from there.
Yeah, boat speed definitely helps. I mean, in the breeze, pretty simple, hike as hard as possible. And in the light winds, a lot of it's about feel. And yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time in the boat the last few years, so that definitely helped.
My speed was definitely felt good. I'm around 80 kilos at the moment and surprisingly felt quite good in the wind, and then also very good when the wind got a bit lighter. So week was definitely made easier by being quick.
I think it's all about time and distance, and good trigger pull definitely is quite a big important factor, and then taking the bias of the line.
Bang! Trigger pull. Can you explain that?
So it's how you get your boat accelerated from no speed or very little speed to full speed in the quickest time possible.
Yeah, so this week was really hard because we almost never had a transit. So for me, I was always starting at an end of the line, which made it easier to be on the line at go. So I was just sort of committing to that really, and whatever you do decide to do, just committing to it and then hoping the execution comes with it.
Yeah, there was quite a lot going on out there. There was tide, there was different every single day. Quite often you can get a transit down the pin, so I was using back transits quite a lot of the time in the committee boat. And I think just being confident with where you are on the line. Yeah.
Next for me will be ILCA Skills Week and then a little break for the national qualifiers.
And what's next for Finn?
I've got the WASP Nationals here in Weymouth actually, and then after that Aero Worlds, and then next laser thing is, well, Villamora Grand Prix.
I'm having September off, but I'll be back in October for the qualifiers, and then our Worlds are in China in May, and so that's sort of my next short-term goal. But yeah,
That'll be interesting.
yeah, definitely. Well, fingers crossed we'll get some wind, but we'll see.
Very best of luck, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Emirates Team New Zealand is going for their third win in succession in the America's Cup, something no team has been able to do. This is their story in their quest for the Cup. They tell the story, the good and the bad.
It's a technical game, it's a sailor's game, and it's a team and people's game. And it often takes multiple efforts to get everything to align.
To the port tack and...
We didn't know what we didn't know. Like, we knew nothing. And we were on a crash course to try and be competitive. The big lessons learned from the first campaign really was just constant development is a necessity that we didn't realise at the time.
We're proud of KZ7.
We sailed that boat KZ7 on the first day in Fremantle. I don't think we changed it until the last day, where now we don't go a day without changing something. Such a great campaign. It was one of those campaigns that right from the get-go you knew you were onto something.
The America's Cup is now New Zealand's Cup.
After the win in 90, but we were just on this slow, slippery slope.
The lead now has gone out to 150 meters, and Ken, a minute and a half ago, Parker, Ray Davies and their crew are some of the classiest men you will ever come across. This will definitely hurt for Emirates Team New Zealand. The Stars and Stripes say it all. The comeback of 2013.
We should have pushed things harder. We came back here and basically retreated into our shell. We decided that we were going to really push the technology, take more risk. That had a padlock and a code to get into it, so not many people knew about it, and we sort of just worked away on it. It was one of the great secrets. Honestly, it was a year and a half, that secret. Once we were developed, we put it straight on our race boat. The boat was launched. It was too late for anyone to catch up.
There you see their unique setup with the side claws paddling away for all their worth.
Innovation is key, and always has been in the America's Cup. And if you go back to Team New Zealand or the New Zealand Challenge history, even back to Fremantle in the mid-80s, you know, we had the fiberglass 12-metre that had never been done before.
New Zealand, 4 wins in a row.
That innovation has always been there, but it really has taken a quantum leap once we got into the foiling generation. I would suggest in the last 10 years than there probably was in the 100 years previous to the America's Cup. Now, in the Cup that we won, design effort. It was such an amazing technical effort to build it, to maintain it, to sail it. There was a lot of departments that were intricate in that boat winning that race.
The America's Cup remains New Zealand's Cup.
To this day, the America's Cup is about the team that can do all the small things properly, not one silver bullet, and that will be the case in Barcelona this time. I think this America's Cup will be great, and it is going to be very difficult to win, and I'm not just saying that because we're the defender. To win the America's Cup, you can't leave any stone unturned. Like, everything has to be right. You can't just have the best sailors and the second best boat. You've got to have the best sailors, the best boat, the best organisation. You've got to have a bit of luck. All those things at the same time.
The Solitaire du Figaro, initially called the Course de l'Aurora, organized by the newspaper of the same name, was born in 1970. In 1980, the daily newspaper Le Figaro bought the event that now bears its name. After 15 years of good and loyal service, the Figaro, Beneteau 2 yacht, has given way to the foiling, Figaro, Beneteau 3. This new generation sailboat made its first appearance in spring 2019. The first race this year started in Rouen, took Wolf Rock, off the western end of England, to port, and finishes in Seahort, back in France. It is 615 nautical miles, and the boats are sailed by one person.
Seul le marin fait la différence, quoi. C'est vraiment l'ADN de la course et c'est ça qu'on vient chercher. Quand on a fait du gros bateau, on se rend compte quand même c'est sa bataille plus fort, quoi.
Et c'est justement cette bataille que les 37 concurrents de la Solitaire du Figaro Paprec s'apprêtent à livrer. Ce matin sur les pontons, on a senti monter la pression. La 55e édition de cette course mythique s'annonce passionnante et incertaine.
Ouais, favori, ouais, c'est une Solitaire du Figaro, c'est vrai que c'est quand même un peu particulier. L'erreur, on va dire qu'elle coûte cher, tout le monde peut la faire. Le but c'est de faire le moins d'erreurs possible. Favori parce que c'est ma dernière, favori parce que j'ai bien marché l'année dernière, mais le tout c'est d'être constant.
16 marins vont découvrir pour la première fois la difficulté de la solitaire. Les bisous, comme on les surnomme, l'abordent avec humilité.
C'est un peu rentrer dans la cour des grands, quoi. Donc naviguer aux côtés de skippers là, type Alexis Loison, Massif, Crédit Mutuel, Eden Red, enfin tout ça c'est quand même, pour moi c'est quand même une chance et c'est un privilège. Donc non, ouais, je suis assez heureux. Ouais.
3, 2, 1, sortez!
Les premières heures de course s'annoncent musclées avec un vent de 15 nœuds orienté au sud-ouest. La prudence sera de mise sur la zone de départ.
Oui, c'est sûr que là, la phase de départ elle risque d'être un petit peu intense. Je pense qu'il faudra vraiment garder des yeux partout pour éviter toute collision ou contact avec un autre bateau. Il y a quand même du vent, on est proches les uns des autres, donc c'est sûr qu'il va falloir être très attentif à tout. Et oui, ça met un petit peu de stress sur le début de course. Une fois qu'on est parti, après c'est bon, mais c'est vrai que c'est un peu intense le début.
Après un parcours côtier devant les falaises normandes, les skippers vont mettre le cap sur le raz de Barfleur, au nord du Cotentin, avant de traverser la Manche, direction les côtes de l'Angleterre.
Je le résumerai pour le moment en disant que ça tape et que ça penche.
D'un coucher de soleil à une aube lumineuse, les skippers de la Solitaire du Figaro Paprec n'ont pas molli la nuit dernière. Un passage au phare de Wolfrock à minuit 19 pour le premier, Alexis Loison, qui s'octroie le sprint intermédiaire. 5 minutes seront déduites de son temps de course à l'arrivée à Riron. En moins de 20 minutes, 10 bateaux avaient contourné le rocher.
Il y avait énormément de réglages à faire pour essayer de tirer le meilleur des bateaux là. Et c'est vrai que le fait d'être sur le même bord comme ça, on n'a pas pu trop se reposer. Donc voilà, là, enroulé de Wolfrock, ça fait quand même plaisir. On sait qu'on se rapproche doucement de Riron.
Une bonne partie de la flotte reste bien groupée à l'approche du DST de Ouessant, une zone interdite à la navigation.
En Figaro, tous les bateaux sont pareils, donc c'est pas mal en plus d'être un peu proche pour surtout d'éviter la course pour pas prendre des énormes risques non plus. Et en tout cas, on sait aussi si on a bien réglé si en vitesse. Et ça permet de faire du petit gain petit, donc ça va très bien d'être proche des autres.
Reste à savoir quelle route prendre. Après la vacation météo de 9h, le clignotant est mis à droite pour toute la flotte. Ils passeront à l'ouest du DST et conserveront un flux de sud-ouest d'environ 15 à 20 nœuds dans une mer désorganisée.
On va avancer encore un peu auprès comme ça. On va falloir trouver le bon moment pour virer de bord, ni trop tôt ni trop tard. Et caler son timing par rapport au front qui va nous arriver dessus.
Un paquet mené par le quatuor Loison, Béréard, Bourgnon et Victor Le Pape, bien installé en tête de flotte depuis le départ. Suite à la casse de son D2 bâbord, un des câbles qui maintient le mât, Suzanne Beuke a annoncé son abandon sur cette étape et fait route vers un port breton. La pointe bretonne passée commencera la longue route vers les Asturies, avec une descente du golfe de Gascogne devant se dérouler dans de petits airs.
On a pris des bons talus, ouais. On a bien planté les pieux. Et on va encore en planter un peu d'ailleurs.
Avec du vent, du courant et beaucoup de manœuvres dans du rase-caillou le long de la côte du Cotentin, les skippers de cette 55e édition de la Solitaire du Figaro Paprec sont tous d'accord pour dire que cette première nuit a été bien copieuse, comme le dit le local de l'étape et leader au classement de 15 heures, Alexis Loison.
Première nuit blanche, parce que voilà, on est arrivé à Barfleur, à la pointe de Barfleur, pile à la renverse de pont. Donc il a fallu slalomer entre les cailloux, vraiment faire du ras de cailloux pour se protéger du courant contraire.
Le premier bisu, Tom Goron, tient la cadence en se plaçant dans le top 10.
La route, elle
elle est encore bien longue, mais c'est vrai que l'objectif, voilà, il est de s'accrocher au maximum à la tête de groupe pour pas perdre de terrain béton et pour même régater au maximum.
Pour Louise Acker, le passage dans les cailloux n'a pas été favorable. Suite à un talonnage, la navigatrice, saine et sauve, s'est dirigée vers Cherbourg en signifiant son abandon sur l'étape 1. D'autres ont dû gérer quelques petites avaries à bord de leur machine.
D'eau par une trappe de feuilles, là j'ai vidé 20 seaux d'eau depuis le départ, donc c'est un peu tonique.
Après une nuit épuisante, tous sont à la recherche de la moindre opportunité pour se reposer.
Petite sieste de 5 minutes nous apporte beaucoup et là je suis plus sur un rythme de 15-20 minutes bien appuyé. Mais je suis dans la planète. J'enchaîne ma 3e test de 20 minutes. J'ai les yeux sur les compteurs pour vérifier que ça avance quand même et voilà, on essaye de dormir parce que la nuit prochaine ça va être encore penché et humide.
Avec un vent de sud annoncé la nuit prochaine entre 15 et 20 nœuds, les concurrents devraient rester sur ce bord de près jusqu'à la prochaine marque de parcours, le phare de Wolfrock, qu'ils devraient contourner en deuxième partie de nuit.